Kalindra, I promise you I will get you out of here. One day you will open your eyes again. I don't care what it takes. Even if it's the last thing I ever do, I will bring you back. I love you, Kalindra.
I was born of two worlds, the earth and the sea, and both rage within me.
Once upon a time, far below the shimmering surface of the Sapphire Sea, lay the kingdom of Thalisara, a realm of wonder where coral towers rose like jeweled cathedrals and silver fish danced through curtains of light, every drop of water whispering ancient songs, the sea itself alive and remembering. Within this kingdom ruled King Thalorian and Queen Lysandra, sovereigns of wisdom and beauty, their palace carved from pearl and moonstone, lit by lanterns of living jellyfish that glowed in 1,000 hues. And there at the heart of all splendor lived their only daughter, Princess Seraphiel. Seraphiel was unlike any mermaid before her. Her hair shimmered like threads of sunrise silk. Her eyes glowed with the calm of twilight seas. And everyone whispered that her beauty outshone even the goddess of the sun. Yet, it was not her beauty that set her apart. It was the quiet ache in her heart, a longing she could not name. The dawn bells rang beneath the waves. As Seraphiel awoke in her chamber of coral glass, servants glided silently through the halls, polishing shells and arranging strands of sea lilies. Everything was perfect. Yet, to Seraphiel, it all felt hollow. Her best friend, Mirabelle, daughter of the noble merman, would often tease the princess about her solemn nature. "Why the frown, my princess?" Mirabelle asked one morning, as the two sat upon a balcony overlooking the vast blue expanse. "You have all of Thalisara at your command. Pearls, songs, and suitors who would sell their fins to win your smile." Seraphiel sighed, her voice soft as a tide. "It's not pearls I crave, Mira. It's the truth. Sometimes I feel the ocean hides something from me." Mirabelle followed her gaze toward the dark tunnel beyond the borders of the city. A forbidden passage known as the Chasm of Shadows. It was said to lead to the world above, the realm of humans. Every merchild knew the warning: never seek the shore, for it brings only sorrow. That night, Queen Lysandra summoned her daughter to her private chamber. The queen sat by a window of translucent shells, her golden hair flowing like riverlight. "My daughter," she began gently, "you have been staring at the chasm. Tell me, what do you seek there?" Seraphiel hesitated. "Mother, I have never seen a human. I only wish to know what lies above, beyond our bright blue sea." Lysandra's smile faltered. She turned, revealing a faint scar running down her left arm, a mark long hidden by her silken robes. "When I was your age," she said softly, "I too dreamed of the world above. I stole my mother's transformation pearl and swam to the shore. I thought humans were kind, but before I could speak, a fisherman saw me. They raised their weapons and I barely escaped. Their arrows left this mark." Her voice trembled with old pain. "Since that day, I vowed never to trust the humans again. They are cruel, greedy, and blind to our world's beauty. Promise me, Seraphiel. Stay away from the chasm that leads to human world." Tears shimmered in Seraphiel's eyes. She nodded, though in her heart, curiosity whispered like a siren song. Days passed, yet the princess could not silence the echo of her mother's story. She spent hours drifting near the chasm, feeling the pull of destiny through the currents. But one evening, on her way to the throne room, Seraphiel heard voices, her parents, and what she heard shattered her world. "We must convince her. The humans are evil," said Queen Lysandra. "She must never know," replied King Thalorian. "She is not truly ours. If she discovers her origin, everything will be undone." The world went silent. Her heartbeat slowed. Not theirs. Seraphiel fled to her chamber, tears streaming like rain beneath the sea. That night, sleepless and trembling, she swore to find the truth, even if it destroyed her. At dawn, cloaked in kelp and courage, Seraphiel swam to the farthest edge of the kingdom, where the sea turned black, and the currents whispered forbidden names. There, in a small grotto lit by blue fire, lived Mother Nerithra, the oldest mermaid in their kingdom, a being some called a witch, and others called her a prophet. "What brings the royal blood of Thalisara to my humble reef?" the old mermaid croaked, bowing her silvered head. "I command you to speak the truth," Seraphiel said, her voice trembling but fierce. "Who am I truly?" The old woman's eyes gleamed with sorrow. "So the tide has turned. Very well, my princess. Many years ago, you were not of the sea, but of the land. A human child named Seraphiel of Ilarion, daughter of the human king and queen of the shore. Our queen Lysandra, barren and desperate for a child, saw you through the king's scrying mirror and coveted your light. They lured you to the ocean's edge, took you beneath the waves, and bound you with magic to forget your past." Seraphiel's lips parted in horror. "When your human father learned of your disappearance, he declared war on the merfolk. In that war, Prince Hairon, their son, was killed. Since then, both realms have drowned in hatred. But your human sister, Princess Kalindra, once came seeking peace. The king of Thalisara imprisoned her and cursed her to eternal sleep. Only the tears of someone that had shared laughter with her in the past can wake her. Your tears can wake her, for she is your blood." Seraphiel fell to her knees, her heart breaking like shattered glass. "Tell me how I can save her." Mother Nerithra reached out her hand. "Then take my gift, the flame of tides. With it, your power will surpass even your father's. But beware, child, love and vengeance share the same tide." When Seraphiel returned to the palace, she hid her anguish behind a serene smile. She dined, laughed, and pretended to sleep. But when midnight came, she fled once more to the chasm that leads to the human world. The tunnel had been sealed with heavy magic, a swirling vortex of shadow and flame. Placing her hand upon it, she whispered the ancient invocation. "I am daughter of the earth, offspring of the sea, seeker of truth, and breaker of chains. I am Seraphiel, goddess of the deep." The spell shattered like glass. Through hours of darkness, she swam through storms of memory and silence, until the first glimmer of sunlight pierced the waves. When she broke the surface, the sky burned gold, and for the first time she felt belonging. "On the sandy shores of Ilarion," she whispered, "a mermaid changes, so I command change. May tail vanish and bring forth legs." In a flash of light, her silver tail melted away. Replaced by human limbs, she stumbled onto the shore, tasting the wind, marveling at the warmth of the sun. When she entered the human land, men and women stopped to stare. She was ethereal, barefoot wrapped in sea silk, her eyes holding the ocean's soul. She walked straight into the royal palace. Guards drew their swords, but with a mere gesture, they froze like stone. The hall fell silent as she entered the throne room. The human king rose in shock, his hand trembling. "Who are you?" She bowed, tears in her voice. "I am Seraphiel, your daughter." He looked at her palm. There, the mark of the half-moon. The king gasped. The queen rushed forward, weeping. The family embraced her. One day, as Princess Seraphiel was walking through the forested river, she met Raelian, a nobleman from the neighboring kingdom. He had eyes like twilight storm, and a heart that saw beyond her magic. They spoke for hours, days, weeks. She told him her story, every secret, every scar. For the first time she felt truly seen. They fell in love, like night and dawn colliding. One morning, Seraphiel knew the time had come. The sun rose blood-red over the sea, as she stood before the crowd. "I will return to Thalisara," she said, her voice carrying over the waves. "My sister still sleeps, and truth demands its price." Raelian held her hand. "If I cannot follow, then I shall wait until the sea gives you back." She kissed him, then whispered the words, "A mermaid changes, so I command change. May legs vanish and bring forth tail." The sea swallowed her once more. When she reached the underwater palace, the merfolk gasped. The kingdom she had left was older, colder, and darker. King Felorian tried to bind her with magic, but her power burst like a rising sun. "I seek only freedom and justice," she thundered. "Release my sister, or face the storm you created." The ocean trembled. Coral shattered. The king unleashed the fury of the abyss. But Seraphiel's magic, born of truth, burned brighter. The war of light and shadow raged for hours, until finally the king fell to his knees. "You cannot destroy what was stolen from love," she said. In the forbidden chamber opposite her old room, she found Calindra pale and still, floating in a glass coffin of enchanted water. Seraphiel's tears fell, glowing like starlight, as she touched her sister's face. Then she pressed a cut finger to Calindra's lips and whispered, "I break every evil spell. Let love return, let light awake." Calindra stirred, her eyes fluttered open. The sisters embraced, and the sea seemed to sigh with relief. Seraphiel turned to her foster parents. "I do not belong here," she said softly, "but I forgive you. May peace dwell in Thalisara once more." Queen Lysandra wept as Seraphiel and Calindra swam toward the surface, two lights rising through an endless blue. When they reached the shore, Seraphiel fainted from exhaustion. Raelian carried her in his arms, refusing to leave her side. Days later, she awoke to find Calindra smiling beside her. Years passed. Seraphiel and Raelian married in a grand ceremony that filled the air with bells and blossoms. Calindra wed a prince of the Northern Isles. Together, their kingdoms united, ending centuries of war. When King Ilarion died, Seraphiel and Raelian ascended the throne. They ruled with compassion, their reign known as the Era of Two Moons, where sea and sky finally made peace. Sometimes, when the moon rose high, Seraphiel would walk to the shore, gaze at the waves and whisper, "I was born of two worlds, and both live in me." And the sea would shimmer in reply,